What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Celtics coming to you guys again with another rebuilding video. This time we are getting into the Eastern Conference for real. The Bulls last time was just a rebuild just because they had a new roster. I wanted to see what it would be like to rebuild them, but now we are working on the Charlotte Hornets, and the Charlotte Hornets have a very nice piece in Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker is pretty much the only player that might be untouchable. Even then, I can't guarantee that he'll be untouchable, but this is the current up-to-date one where Dwight Howard is on the team. They picked him up for basically nothing for the Atlanta Hawks, but I don't want him on the team either. He's going to make $23.5 million. He's 30 years old. He's going to decline super heavily after this season, so I'm going to see if I can move him for a center. I'd literally rather have Al Horford, but this one's even better. I can get Hassan Whiteside to the team, and that is going to be a nice pickup. He's an overall better center, and it is hands down better than Dwight Howard, in my opinion, at least in the current time. Obviously, prime Dwight, he would be much better because he's freaking Superman, but Hassan Whiteside, as it is right now, is the better center overall. Let's see. Our power forward position is a little bit weak, but I'd like to move Frank Kaminsky there potentially. Let's see. I'd rather have Frank Kaminsky be the starting power forward. He might develop a little bit better than anyone else would. Nicholas Batum is not going to cut it at small forward. That is for sure. He's getting paid a lot of money too. So I could do Nicholas Batum and MKG. If I could package them together for a real small forward, that would be nice. Darius Saric, Alan Crabb, Ricky Rubio, Trey Lyles, Rudy Gay and Darren Collison is not a horrible deal. Paul Millsap I could bring to the team on an expiring deal. Zach Randolph, Rajon Rondo, Chris Middleton, and Greg Monroe. But I like Rudy Gay and Darren Collison. Top 3 protected pick. You know what? Screw it. We'll do that. It doesn't really matter. Rudy Gay will be a little bit better, and we'll have a nice backup point guard in Darren Collison. Our shooting guard is definitely not going to cut it either. Jeremy Lamb, Dwayne Bacone is here. I know it's Bacon, but let me do Darren Collison and Jeremy Lamb actually. Darren Collison has decent value. He's about to expire too in terms of contract. JJ Redick wouldn't be horrible. Patrick Beverley would not be horrible either. Shabazz Muhammad, TJ Warren, Tony Parker, Jonas Valanciunas, but I'm looking for a shooting guard. Jamie Lin wouldn't be horrible to bring him back to the Hornets. I might actually do that. To be honest, it would be nice just to bring him back to the Hornets. So, yep, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring Jeremy Lin back to the Hornets and Sean Kilpatrick. Sean Kilpatrick will be a nice backup shooting guard. I'm going to move Jeremy Lin to the shooting guard position, and then that will work out quite nicely, actually, for our team. So let's do that. If 2K can load, I can actually load that up. So, yeah, he'd actually be able to start out back in the backcourt once again alongside Kemba Walker. So move him to shooting guard position. He goes up to an 80 overall. So now we have Hassan Whiteside, who is going to be the starting center. So the lineup isn't horrible. And a couple moves, we made it a lot better. We have Kemba Walker, Jeremy Lin, Rudy Gay. That's the slick back hairstyle. Frank Kaminsky, Hassan Whiteside. And then we have Cody Zeller, Malik Monk, Sean Kilpatrick. Malik Monk, could I move him to small forward? Oh, no, he's 6'3". He's not going to be... He could move to small forward. And he would go up to a 76 overall. I don't know how that would work, but I'm going to do it just for now. Just so we could have a small forward for the bench. And Cody Zeller, Frank Kaminsky... we do need a power forward, backup power forward. Ramon Sessions, Dwayne Bacon, move them together. Spencer Hawes, Mike Muscala, Wayne Ellington, and Willie Reed. That's not a horrible deal. I'm going to do that. We'll have Willie Reed. He'll be a nice or a pretty solid power forward, backup power forward for us. So now we're looking at the starting lineup's the same, but we have Cody Zeller, Malik Monk, Wayne Ellington, Sean Kilpatrick, and Willie Reed with 10-man rotation. And Willie Reed. Let's see. I'm actually okay with this. We're just going to leave it at that roster for now. We're going to simulate with this team into the trade deadline if I make any moves. I don't know if I really need to. I might see you guys just at the end of the next season in the season awards. But we might even be able to make it in the playoffs this season with this kind of team. So I'm not going to complain if that's true. So I'll see you guys then. So here's a deal that came up for Rudy Gay and Wayne Ellington for Otto Porter and Marcin Gortat. I'm going to do this. Otto Porter's a little bit younger. I think we would have his bird rights in the offseason anyway, so that's not a horrible deal. He's super young, 23. So yeah, he's definitely going to play for us pretty nicely in my personal opinion. I'm going to move Gortat actually to power forward. We'll keep him as the starting power forward for now, and then Frank Kaminsky would be the nice backup one. Gortat's still not getting those starting minutes. I don't even care. As long as but between those two, it doesn't really matter to me personally. We don't have a point guard for the bench. That was the issue. So now that I have for Cody Zeller and Marcin Gortat essentially fighting for minutes to come in the power forward position. I would like to get a point guard for the bench. There isn't any really nice ones. Justin Holiday. Let's go player finder. I would literally just grab a cheap point guard that's like a 70 something overall. Like Patty Mills is a free agent, it looks like. Patty Mills, where is he? He's right here. We don't have the roster space for him. Is there? Who's making almost no money? This guy released to free agency, so we'll sign Patty Mills on the minimum. So we'll do that, and he will be the starting point guard off the bench for us, I think, or the backup point guard. That's what I meant. Yeah, and that works out quite nicely actually. So now we have Marcin Gortat as the power forward for the bench. Now we actually have a point guard to come up and back up Kemba Walker. And so that's going to be it. I'm going to see you guys now at the end of season awards with how this team's going to look. And hopefully we can make it in the playoffs. We're a 6th seed right now, but hopefully we can finish out the top 3. I'll see you guys then. And here we are at the end of season awards where Russ Westbrook is the MVP with 34, 13, and 11 with 1.5 steals. Markelle Fultz is rookie of the year with 18 and 5 assists, 2 steals. Jordan Clarkson is your 6th man of the year, 16 and 5. Over the Los Angeles Lakers. Andre Drummond is the defensive player of the year. Nikola Jokic is your most improved, and coach of the year goes to Steve Kerr of the 59 and 23 Golden State Warriors. Do we have any of our Hornet players on an all-NBA team? And I don't really see any. Maybe defensively. Doesn't look like we have any here either. I don't think we have any rookies, so that's not going to apply to us, unfortunately. We are 48 and 34, which is good enough for 4th in the Eastern Conference, which put us 6 games behind the Cavs, which put us, was that like 11 games behind the Warriors? So it's nothing super crazy. Player stats on the season: Kemba Walker led us in scoring with almost 20 points, 8 assists. Hassan Whiteside had 14 and 12.5 with 3 blocks. Jeremy Lin had 12 points and 6 assists out of him. Nice to see Frank Kaminsky get 11 points. Otto Porter had 10 points and 5 boards. Malik Monk actually had 9 points and 3 assists a game coming out of him. That's not horrible numbers coming out of him. He's an offensive-minded player, definitely. Patty Mills had 8 and 4. So let's check out the lineup, the minutes, how the roster set up. So we do have Marcin Gortat as the starting power forward. I'm okay with that. Ooh, my voice just cracked. That was kind of weird. Let's see. Just out of curiosity, no, he could not. I was just checking to see if Sean Kilpatrick could play small forward, and he could not, ironically enough, even though he's bigger than Malik Monk. But we are up against the Detroit Pistons in the first round, and they have Bino Udrih as their starting point guard, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Tobias Harris, and Andre Drummond, a bunch of overpaid players. So I'm just going to simulate the current round. Let's see if we can beat them. And can we beat them in 6? And we do. Wow. The Pacers upset the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Pacers have Jeff Teague and Paul George essentially. Miles Turner is a beast. Miles Turner is a beast. So that's not a crazy upset, but I did not expect them to beat out the Cavs, that's for sure. So let's go make sure that we get our starters a little bit more minutes here. I want to make sure that Gortat's getting like 30. Otto needs to get 30, and I need Jamie Lin to get 30 as well. So let's simulate this current round. I don't even think we could beat them, to be honest. Alright, we do. We beat them in 7. We're in the Eastern Conference Finals in our first year with a team I did not expect to be in the frickin' finals. Chris Middleton and Giannis, Jabari Parker, and Greg Monroe. Malcolm Brogdon. The Bucks are super nice in 2K lately, so I don't know. I don't think we're gonna beat them, and we beat them in 6. Okay, so if I say we don't beat them, we might beat them. We're up against the Houston Rockets. We're not gonna beat them. This is frickin' Chris Paul and James Harden. Are you serious? 93 and 96. Some of the craziest backcourts, and Clint Capella. It's all right. 2K. We can get swept. Yeah. So 28 points, 8 assists. 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 1.5 steals. He actually played defense. That's when you know you're screwed, is if James Harden's playing defense. League meetings, make sure everything's projected. Staff signing. Well, we already have. It doesn't really matter. NBA drafts. Let's skip everything here. I don't know if we even have a pick. We have the 20th pick overall. So let's move up to not the first. The 76ers have that first. I would go up to like the 3rd, 4th. I can do the 4th. I will not give you Kemba. That's for freaking sure. Are you serious? What? They must be on something. Whatever they're smoking, I want some. Not gonna give you Kemba. I will give you a 2nd rounder if you really want it. Definitely not gonna give you. Oh my god, not gonna give you either of those. I will give you this 1st rounder. Still not gonna give you Kemba. You can like chill. Jesus Christ, no! You can't have Kemba freaking Walker. All right, dude. You know what? Let me just do trade finder. It doesn't really matter. Marcin Gortat and the 20th overall pick. What can I get? I get Mirotic and Robin Lopez. That's not horrible. Jordan Clarkson, Lowell Dang. I don't really want either of those players. They're getting paid a lot of money. I'd like somebody cheap personally. Cody Zeller might actually get better pick value stuff out of him. Justin Patton, I could get 2 picks. TJ Leaf, Jeremy Lamb, JJ Barea. I might go for Willie Hernangomez. You can keep I'll do that. Willie Hernangomez, and then we're gonna do the players that are getting paid way too much money, like Joakim Noah, Marcin Gortat. And that's basically it. Those guys I'm gonna give to the Warriors for that first rounder and like a second. There you go. Thank you so much, Warriors, for taking that off my hands. We're gonna go to team player options, see if I need to give out any of these. Frank Kaminsky will obviously accept him. Qualifying offers. Otto Porter can take 1. Willie Reed, I don't really care. He didn't really get any minutes on our team anyways. So we should have a good bit of cap because Kemba Walker isn't getting paid that much. We have bird rights on Otto Porter. I couldn't think of his name for some reason, even though it's literally right in fucking front of me. Let's check player contract. We're working with almost 50 mil in cap. So that is super nice. So Kevin Durant, if you would like to come here, I will not be opposed to that. I will not give you a no trade clause. And we're his #1 offer. No, we're not. We're the Hornets. I just rebuilt the Bulls before this, so I'm getting that mixed up a little bit. Don't hate on me. But if you do, it's fine. Warriors are their #1 offer. If we get DeMarcus Cousins, I would not complain. The Clippers are his #1 offer. Isaiah Thomas, if you'd like to come to the team. Celtics are his #1 offer. Paul George would be nice. I'd like to get Paul George. Chris Paul would be cool. The Rockets are his #1 offer. Gordon Hayward, if you'd like to come to this team. Blake Griffin as well. I would like to extend one to. And let's see. We get Gordon Hayward. That's not horrible. And everyone else leaves to a different team. Let's see here. What kind of contracts are we working with? We don't really have a shooting guard. I just realized that. 22 mil. Let's see here. LaMarcus Aldridge. Joel Embiid. We're 75k short of Joel Embiid. Let me check. Let me check what kind of value Kaminsky has, just in case. I think he has like 2.5, if I remember correctly. It's not a horrible, it's not a horrible piece to move. Tyus Jones, Steven Adams. I'll do this. Phoenix Suns, thank you for the pick, and we are going to check and see if we could get Joel Embiid actually, because sometimes they don't re-sign him. So if he doesn't get re-signed, I'm not gonna say no to having him on the team. Okay, so the 76ers matched the offer sheet, unfortunately. Carmelo, Jeff Teague, Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade wants to come to the team. I'll offer him that. Zach Randolph. Rudy Gay wants to come to the team. That doesn't really matter. Otto Porter was only offer for Otto Porter, so that's not a bad deal. We'll just keep that as is. Dwayne Wade, if you'd like to come to the team, I will sign you. And nice. So we do get Dwayne Wade. Can we get a power forward, please? Rudy Gay is asking for still a lot of money. Greg Monroe's asking for a bunch too. We don't really have that much. We have like, how much is that? That's like 7 mil. We have like 7 mil to spend. Who would be willing to take a $7 million contract? I have no idea, honestly. Let's go. Robert Covington's gonna ask for too much. Nene, I would be willing to sign if he'd like to come to the team. Iguodala is asking for a little bit too much. Zaza, I'm not gonna sign because he's a bitch ass. David Lee, I would sign. Tyreek Evans, I would sign. Kyle Quinn, I would sign. Dwayne Dedman, I would sign. So let's see if any of those guys come to the team. And hopefully we could get Otto. Well, we'll definitely get Otto Porter back. So I'll match his contract regardless, since we have bird rights on him, so we could easily take him back onto the team. And let's see if we can get any of these other guys back, because we offered a lot of kind of like minimum or cheap contracts. So yeah, so Tyreek Evans, Kyle Quinn. Unfortunately, we can't take Kyle Quinn. He was a little bit too slow on that. We would take David Lee. I would have no problems with that. And and then I just need to make sure that we get Otto Porter. So I'll see you guys at the beginning of the next season with exactly what the roster is looking like. Hopefully we can make a run at the playoffs, because we did a lot better this year than I expected to. So I'll see you guys then. And so this is the team at the start of the next season. We have Kemba Walker, Dwayne Wade, Gordon Hayward, Dwayne Dedmon, Hassan Whiteside, Malik Monk, Otto Porter, Willie Hernangomez, Tyreek Evans, Nene, Justin Holiday, Ramon Sessions, and David Lee. We're definitely going to have to make a couple moves. The only reason I signed Dwayne Wade was because I'm going to move him. He's getting paid a lot. Wow. Apparently nobody wants him. Nobody wants Dwayne Wade, just flat out. Okay, so we might have to do a search here. So I want a shooting guard, definitely. We're gonna have to get one that's getting paid a good bit of money. Could I give Dwayne Wade to the 70s? We can't afford him, so we have to give up a little bit of money in order to do this. Tyreek Evans, and then you give us somebody not getting paid that much. Carl Landry. I'll give you a second, 2 seconds. And so we get Avery Bradley for Dwayne Wade, essentially. The next move is I'm going to move Otto Porter and hopefully Dwayne Dedmon and see if we can get a power forward for that. And my game's glitched, unfortunately, so we're going to have to do a little bit of a trick. See if we can go through all of them. Danilo Gallinari is not going to work. Harrison Barnes is not going to work. Nikola Vucevic, I'm good. Justice Winslow, I'm aight. Al Horford and Ian Clark. I'm actually going to do that. That's not a horrible deal. If you move Al Horford to the power forward position, obviously he's going to go up, and he'd be a nice to put alongside Hassan Whiteside. So I'm going to move Al Horford to the power forward position, and then I'm going to move Malik Monk back to shooting guard, and he'll be a nice backup shooting guard for the bench. Let's go check what our lineup is looking like now, just to make sure. So we have Kemba Walker, Malik Monk is actually the starting shooting guard now. Gordon Hayward, Al Horford, and Hassan Whiteside. Then off the bench we have Avery Bradley, Willie Hernangomez, Nene, Ian Clark, and Justin Holiday. So the first thing is I'm going to move Nene to power forward. He's going to go up to almost a 77. And then I'm going to do a couple looks, and I'll see you guys after I find the rest of what I want. I just basically need to look for a good point guard to come off the bench. I'll see you guys then. And I knew I said I was going to look for a point guard, but this one came up for Tony Allen and Zaza Pachulia. Obviously, I'm not doing it for Zaza because I freaking hate him. But Tony Allen is not too bad. Let's see here. Yeah, I can't really complain about that. Tony Allen would be a nice piece for the bench. So let's see what it would be. Yeah, so Tony Allen would be a nice small forward. Definitely going to move him to small forward. So he'll go up to almost an 80 overall. So he'll be a nice backup small forward for Gordon Hayward. And he'll be the 7th man. Willie Hernangomez, Nene. Pachulia is obviously not going to stay. 6th man, Avery Bradley. So we're going to have to move Pachulia and Ian Clark. And I'll see. Alright, my trades are still glitched. But we're basically just looking for a point guard. And Jonathan Sims not going to cut it. Oop. Spurs, Derek White. Rockets, Mandagas Kuzminskis. Nope. Oops, did it again. Pelicans, Gerald Henderson, and Rich Jefferson. You know what? I'm just going to look for a player, a point guard, and then I'll make a trade for that, and we'll be good. I'll see you guys then. All right, so this is the trade. Zaza Pachulia, first rounder, Carl Landry, and a second rounder for Rajon Rondo and Tyler Ulis. I'm doing for Tyler Ulis, who's a nice backup point guard for us. And I just want to have that because when you have a nice backup point guard to run off the bench, it makes it a little bit easier just to get a couple wins early on. Our team chemistry is probably going to be destroyed, 17%, so I'm going to make sure that we are set to team chemistry training. We're good on that. The coaching lineup is Kemba Walker, Malik Monk, Gordon Hayward, Al Horford, Hassan Whiteside. Then off the bench we have Avery Bradley, Tony Allen, Willie Hernangomez, Tyler Ulis, and then Nene. So it's not a bad lineup at all. I'm going to simulate now to the trade deadline if I'm making moves. You guys are going to see those, but I probably am going to roll with this team into the playoffs. So I'll see you guys then. Alright, so I wasn't sure if this trade was going to go through, but Al Horford, a first rounder, and a second rounder for essentially DeAndre Jordan. I like DeAndre Jordan. He's going to be nice defensively, and then our paint is going to be absolutely defended with Hassan Whiteside and DeAndre Jordan there. So, you know, I couldn't say no to that because that's a really, really nice backup twin tower. My voice cracked. That was weird. But that's just a nice setup for the front court is DeAndre Jordan alongside Hassan Whiteside. But then our front court is still pretty nice in Kemba Walker and Malik Monk. I'm curious if just to see. Okay, well I can't really see anything because my trade system's still broke because 2K is busted. But that's going to be the team. I'm going to see you guys now at the end of season awards just because I do really, really like this team. There's probably not much else that I could do to it, so I'll see you guys then. So, for some reason, Gordon Hayward's super depressed, so we're going to see what he's willing to trade. Okay, so he's willing to give up his team rights, essentially, to go to the Bucks, where he's not going to get minutes because Giannis is there. Hey, you know, if he's upset being on this team, he's going to decline in terms of overall. He's going to make it actually worse. He's gonna play below his actual what his overall states. So I'm gonna move him to the Bucks. He's gonna get no minutes there. It actually might weaken the Bucks because they're not gonna have a power forward there anymore. So I'm gonna move Jabari now to small forward, who's an 88 when you move him there. So he's the nice young piece for us to have on the team. And I'm gonna move DeAndre Jordan because I think DeAndre Jordan has a nice value that if I go to, where is he? I think I could just do it straight up almost. DeAndre Jordan. And then I'm going to go to the Pistons. Where are they? Pistons. Starts with a P. Drummond. Do I want to do this? Actually, no. I'm just going to keep it as is. I like the team just enough as you know. This looks pretty solid. But if I could do... So, unfortunately, my 2K glitched, but here we are back again. Let's see. So, we have Jabari and DeAndre Jordan, obviously, as the starting, kind of like the big two duo. Kemba Walker and Avery Bradley are nice in the backcourt, but we don't have a super solid small forward quite yet. But although Malik Monk could theoretically play that if we really have to. Anyone in free agency that really might make a... No, nobody here is going to make a difference. But we have Jabari Parker, who's going to be our starting small forward, which isn't a horrible idea. DeAndre Jordan is here. He's declined a little bit because of all the trades that we just did. But I like the look of the team. I feel like there's like one missing piece that's going to make us kind of go over the top. Like, if we had a really stud shooting guard, this could be a completely different scenario for us. D'Angelo Russell doesn't like it over there with the Nets, so hopefully, theoretically, if we give him like Avery Bradley, maybe even, let's see, we'd have to find someone making a good bit on this team, and they're making a little bit more. So Trevor Booker and these two. No, I will also give you Malik Monk. And not Tony Allen. No, so that's not gonna work out. Let's see if there's somebody else cheaper. No, nobody's really gonna make that big a difference on this team, unfortunately. Yeah, no. So that's just gonna be it. That would be the last trade that I want to do. So I'm gonna simulate now to the end of the season awards. Any contract extension. Sometimes if you give a contract extension, they will your team might go up. None of these really matter, so it's just gonna be it. I'm just gonna see you guys at the end of season awards. Hopefully we can make it into the playoffs as a top 2 seed. Hopefully we can actually make it and win the championship, a first ever championship for the Hornets. I'll see you guys then. Here we're at the end of season awards, where James Harden is your MVP with 26.7 boards, 8.5 assists, 1.5 steals. Mike Porter's your rookie of the year with 16 and 7 over with the Boston Celtics. Mason Plumlee's your 6th man. Anthony Davis is defensive player of the year with 15 boards, 3.5 blocks. Kyle Anderson's your most improved, and Ethan Schroeder of your Houston Rockets is a 70-12 record. Oh geez. Alright, so the Rockets are probably gonna destroy us. Unfortunately, do we have any Hornets? No Hornets. Defensive Hornet maybe. No, nobody even on defensive rookie. I don't think we have any. Yes, we don't. 52 and 30 was good enough for second in the Eastern Conference. 5 games behind the Toronto Raptors, and that is 18 games behind the frickin' Rockets. Do they still have like the same team? Like what is Chris Paul, James Harden, Eric Gordon, Clint Capella? I don't know how they went 70 and 12. Like obviously this backcourt's good, but I don't know if it's 70 and 12 backcourt. But 18 points and 8 assists coming out of Kemba Walker. Jabari Parker had 18 points and 7 boards. Blake Monk had 13. Hassan Whiteside had 13 and 13 with 2.5 blocks. Avery Bradley had 13 and 1 steal. So some nice stats. 10 boards and 2 blocks coming out of DeAndre Jordan as well. So I actually like the look of this team. They're playing pretty solid. I might be doing a switch now. So I'm going to move Jordan back to center, and then I'm going to move Hassan Whiteside to power forward. Give give that a little bit of a switch around because Hassan Whiteside was getting a little bit tired playing the center position. So we're going to give a little bit more minutes to Jordan, and I'm going to give Monk 30. Oops. So 30 and 32 to Kemba. And we are up against the Celtics in our first round. That's actually pretty scary depending on who they have. Isaiah Thomas still they kept. They have Dwayne Wade now, Jason Tatum and Mike Porter and JJ Hickson. I think we can beat these guys. We gave them Otto Porter as well, so they have a clog at the small forward position, and we beat them in 6. We are now up against the Bulls, and the Raptors got upset in the first round by the 76ers. We are up against the Bulls. They have Zach LaVine and Kevin Durant. Ooh, and Enes Kanter. Alright, so this is going to be a little bit of a series, and we beat them in 5. So I said it was going to be a series, and it wasn't. Now we're up against the Bucks, who we gave Gordon Hayward. And, yeah, they have Gordon Hayward, but they don't really have a power forward. They have Montrezl Harrell as their starting power forward. So this is going to be interesting. Let's take this game by game. We take the first. Can we go up 2-0? Can we go up 3? We go up 3-0. Can we go up 4? And we sweep the team that Gordon Hayward wanted to go to. That's what you get for leaving the team. You don't even get to make it to the finals like we do. Houston Rockets beat out the Trailblazers in 5 games. Now this is going to be a series. This is Kemba Walker, Malik Monk, Jabari Parker. Everybody's here is pretty hype now that we're in the finals. A nice series. We're going up against the Houston Rockets. Can we please take the first game? And they take the first game. Can we go up? If they go up 2-0, we're going to make a little bit. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to do the change now. We're going to go for a 9-man rotation. Tony Allen is cold, so we're going to give his minutes to Nene. There we go. Nene is going to get those minutes, and we're going to simulate the game. Houston Rockets are up 2-0. They're up 3-0. Are they going to sweep us? And they do. All right, you can't touch Chris Paul and James Harden, man. It sucks. 34 points, 7.5 rebounds, 9 assists. The James Harden freaking Rockets are incredible, apparently. Impossible to beat. League meetings. Actually, I think it's over. Yeah, that was the last season, unfortunately. Yeah, it would have been nice if we didn't have to, you know, face the Rockets in the finals, but unfortunately we did. The team is still pretty nice. Jabari Parker, Hassan Whiteside, Kemba Walker, DeAndre Jordan, Avery Bradley, Malik Monk, Tony Allen, Willie Hernangomez, Tyler Ulis, Nate, Ian Clark, David Lee, Rashad Vaughn. Those guys really didn't get much minutes, but the team is still pretty nice, led by Jabari Parker himself. As always, thank you guys for watching. If there's a team you want to see me rebuild in the next video, feel free to leave that in the comments down below. I always read them. If there's a specific challenge you want to see me do, leave that down there as well. I like the team personally. I'm kind of surprised we didn't make it, but it wasn't a huge surprise personally. At least I don't think it was. Feel free to leave a like and a comment or subscribe, whatever you want to do. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Until then.